A shooting rampage at 3 spas in the Atlanta metro area Tuesday, leaving 8 people dead and 1 wounded. Police apprehending one suspect, 21-year-old Robert Aaron Long of Woodstock, Georgia. Law enforcement saying that video evidence suggests that it's extremely likely that the same person is responsible for all 3 shootings.
Georgia State Patrol troopers performed the pit maneuver, which caused the vehicle to spin out of control. The subject was taken into custody without incident.
The first shooting took place about 30 miles outside of Atlanta at Young's Asian Massage in Cherokee County. 2 people died at that scene and 2 more died at the hospital. 1 individual was also wounded.
In 2020, we had 1 homicide in Cherokee County, so we've had at least 3 today. So it's pretty shocking for our, not only our responding deputies and public safety, but also for the community here. We take this very serious.
The other 2 shootings took place in Atlanta at spas right across the street from each other. The first at Gold Massage Spa, leaving 3 dead. While police responded to that shooting, they learned of another across the street at Aromatherapy Spa. 1 person was killed there. Atlanta police say this investigation is a high priority.
We do have some witnesses that were in the location or around the location. It is extreme priority for us.
According to Atlanta police, the suspect's vehicle was seen at the crime scene in Cherokee County and also on the same street as the shootings in Atlanta.
We just heard numerous gunshots coming from across the street. I won't say any names, but they're really nice girls. They just do great massages. They do great massages over here, so it's just unfortunate.
Authorities tell the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that 6 of the victims were Asian women. Police said they had no immediate indication of a motive for the shootings, but the killings came at a time when attacks on Asian Americans have increased since the start of the coronavirus pandemic. That's left some people questioning whether race played a role. Stop AAPI Hate, the nation's leading group fighting the anti-Asian hate and discrimination, called the deaths an unspeakable tragedy and added, this latest attack will only exacerbate the fear and pain that the Asian American community continues to endure.
All right, you have a description of the male?
Sorry.
Do you have a description of him, ma'am?
We need to hide him right now. That's why. Please.
Is it a male or female?
They have a gun, but it's like not a real gun. That's why.
They have a gun, you said?
Yeah, but it's not a real gun. That's why.
Where is he at in the building?
This is a gold spa.
I know. Where's the person who is robbing the spa? Where is he right now?
I don't know. I'm hiding right now.
Okay. Did you have a description of him? Did you see him?
Oh, yeah. Just a white guy.
A white male? What is he wearing?
I don't
Massage parlor here on Highway 92, just west of Bells Ferry Road, to a multiple people shot call. They got here, determined that in fact multiple people had been shot, so we are now dealing with 4 deceased and 1 injured. The suspect was identified as Robert Aaron Long, 21 years old. He lives in unincorporated Cherokee County. We put out his image to the assignment desk a little while ago. I'm not sure if everyone got it or not, but he is currently in custody in Crisp County. We've been communicating with them. My understanding they did a pit maneuver on him and took him into custody, as far as I know, without incident.
Are you all investigating that this may be an attack against Asian Americans in the metro area?
Well, nothing's going to be ruled out. We're conducting a multiple homicide investigation. So wherever the evidence leads us, that's where the investigators will go. claim that it was not racially motivated. He apparently has an issue, what he considers a sex addiction, and sees these locations as something that allows him to go to these places, and it's a temptation for him that he wanted to eliminate.
They determined that the suspect was on his way to Florida, I believe, and perhaps to carry out additional shootings.
Investigating that this may be an attack against Asian Americans in Metro area?
Well, nothing's going to be ruled out. We're conducting a multiple homicide investigation. So wherever the evidence leads us, that's where the investigators will go.
Oh, I've been speaking about the brutality against Asian Americans for the last couple months, and I think it is very, very troublesome. And but I'm making no connection at this moment to the motivation of the killer. I'm waiting for an answer from, as the investigation proceeds, from the FBI and from the Justice Department. So that's. So I'll have more to say when the investigation is completed.
and as the chief said, we know this is still early, but he does claim that it was not racially motivated. He apparently has an issue, what he considers a sex addiction, and sees these locations as something that allows him to go to these places, and it's a temptation for him that he wanted to eliminate. Like I said, it's still early on, but those were comments that he made.
Did he discuss any kind of religious motivations for this, or was he
Nothing
religiously?
Nothing
Or political?
None political. I heard nothing about politics.
Any sense of his social media history? Is that something he's been able to look up?
That's something that investigators, and they've been working on it how long, and that's certainly one of the things they'll be doing.
Sheriff, did you have a sense that he understood what the gravity of what he did?
When I spoke with investigators that interviewed him this morning, and they got that impression that yes, he understood the gravity of it, and he was pretty much fed up and kind of at the end of his rope, and yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
Remorseful?
I'm not going to go to. I don't know if he was remorseful or not.
He's a pretty young guy. Was he a student? Was he living with his parents?
21 years of age. It's my understanding he does not live with his parents. I don't know who he was living with at the time of this incident.
Was he employed?
I'm not aware of that either. That's
Just 2 questions. Just to be clear, the suspect has admitted to shooting the man.
Yes.
Second, yes, he has.
Yes.
And secondly, there's an indication that the family notified you. What indications or what reasons did the family notify you?
We put out an image of a possible suspect very early on in this incident, and we were notified by his family, who were fully cooperative, and we are greatly appreciative of their assistance in this matter.
How did you get the image, Sheriff? Was the image from the surveillance?
Surveillance cameras. There were several businesses there, and we were able to get images from those.
And then you also ID'd his car, also from the surveillance?
The car, and then of course, obviously, we were able to get in touch with the parents, who identified it from social media that was their child, their son.
You mentioned Florida. Were there any? Did he mention any particular businesses that he was doing?
Just my understanding, it was some type of porn industry in that state that he was wanting to go do some similar act in that location. No additional details at this time.
I'm sorry to clarify. Did you say earlier that in interviewing the suspect, he said it was not racially motivated?
He did make that claim.
Despite there not being a racial motivation, there has been a very real set of anti-Asian hate attacks across the country. We've heard from New York City police that they're actually spending resources out of an abundance of caution to their Asian communities across the city. Now, for any of the law enforcement partners here, is there anything similar as far as strategy and extra support for either the Asian American communities in Metro Atlanta or similar businesses like massage parlors?
So obviously, whatever the motivation was for this guy, we know that many of the victims, the majority of the victims, were Asian. We also know that this is an issue that's happening across the country. It is unacceptable, it is hateful, and it has to stop. That being said, we are coordinating in real time to make sure that our communities have the resources that they need. We have not seen a significant uptick in formal complaints within the city of Atlanta, but obviously this is a large metropolitan region, and we know that we're hearing the stories. We're seeing them on television. We're seeing them on social media. So we certainly are aware, and we stand ready to provide any additional resources. But again, because of the quick coordination, when I was on my way home from City Hall last night, when I received the alert that there was a business shooting on Piedmont Road, I immediately called Chief Bryan, who had already been in touch with Cherokee County, and they were already making the connection. So we had a very rapid response, but certainly we will continue to be proactive and provide resources to the extent that we can to make sure that our communities are protected. And again, encouraging anyone. We know many of our communities are sometimes hesitant to bring in law enforcement. If there are things and concerns that are happening in your communities, around your businesses, et cetera, there's nothing too big or too small that we want to be aware of it all to make sure that we can provide resources and respond accordingly.
Is there any plan for the weapons were retrieved from the vehicle or did you use in the community? And were they all legally obtained weapons?
I can tell you that a 9mm firearm was located in his vehicle when he was taken into custody. You know, whether it was legally obtained will be one of the things that our investigators will be looking into. And just to be clear, our victims, I know that obviously Atlanta, all their victims were Asian. 2 of our victims were white, in case anyone was unaware of that. We have 2 Asians and 2 whites that were killed at our
Were the
location.
victims employees or teachers?
That's one of the things that this time we're not going to go into details of how long they were there.
And the 9mm, that was the weapon he used.
Well, obviously we'll have to do forensics on the firearm, but we're confident that it is.
But it was the only weapon that you're talking about?
Yes.
Did he have like a bunch of
No other weapons were located in the vehicle.
How much?
The motives behind a string of shootings at 3 different massage spas around Atlanta and the arrest of the man believed to be responsible as he drove through central Georgia.
Today, investigators revealed 21-year-old Robert Long of Woodstock, Georgia, worked alone. They also say he was not motivated by race.
He made indicators that he has some issues, potentially sexual addiction, and may have frequented some of these places in the past.
When the attacks were over, 8 people were dead. He then headed south through central Georgia on his way to Florida. That's where they believe he planned another series of attacks.
The hunt for Long ended last night with his arrest in Crisp County. Brianna Richardson shows you how the chase and arrest unfolded.
It all started when Crisp County Sheriff's Office received a "Be on the lookout," and shortly after they spotted the suspect. Georgia State Patrol performed a pit maneuver right at mile marker 93. Cherokee County investigators issued that lookout for Long after family members contacted them concerned that the suspect might be their son. This helped police locate him.
We were able to track his phone. Sheriff Billy Hancock from Crisp County is a fellow sheriff and good friend of mine. I reached out to him, anticipating the movement into his county.
Once law enforcement spotted Long in Crisp County heading south on I-75, a Georgia State Patrol trooper performed a pit maneuver to spin out his car.
Georgia State Patrol troopers performed the pit maneuver, which caused the vehicle to spin out of control. The subject was taken into custody without incident at mile marker 93 in Crisp County and transported to the Crisp County Jail.
Long has been taken back to Cherokee County, and the FBI is assisting with the investigation. In Crisp County, Brianna Richardson, 13 WMAZ News.